Hey, what's going on? It's David Duford at buylifeinsuranceforburial.com, where I help answer your questions when it comes to life insurance and burial insurance. Today, we are going to do a walkthrough of New York Life's AARP life insurance product. So in these videos, what I essentially do is walk you through the online application process of what you can expect if you were to apply to one of these companies. The main purpose in doing so is to reveal really all the information, the so-called fine print that you need to be aware of regarding pricing, regarding how the programs work, so you can get all of the information that's necessary to make a decision of what AARP and New York Life are offering you with their products is right for you, and then also to get a comparison about what you may qualify for a like or similar product that we offer as brokers through buylifeinsuranceforburial.com. So I'm going to take you right off of my screen and get you on this process. So a lot of this is just going to be me basically dictating over my screen, showing you how the process works and completing an application online. So that's going to start right now. So here we are on the screen. Let me make sure it's seeable here. Sorry, you're seeing all sorts of stuff in the background. Perfect. Okay. So this is AARP's New York Life's webpage. It's www.nylaarp.com if you want to follow along. And what this essentially does is it's a quote service that you can go to, get some overview and information on how the products work. And so what I'm doing here is simply clicking Get a Quote. And what this does is it takes me to this screen where I have the option of 3 different particular products that I can choose from. The first one being the level benefit term life insurance, the second being permanent life insurance, and the third being guaranteed acceptance life insurance. So what I'm going to do is go through each of these individually and compare and contrast the different prices and options that you may be able to qualify for against other products so you can decide for yourself, again, if this particular product makes sense. So let's start with the level term insurance product. So here we are on the web page. Essentially what this is an information form to collect your basic information to get you started on the process. You do have to be an AARP member to qualify to start the application process. But this is just a highlight overview of what you're looking at. You can get in the term insurance product from $10,000 to $100,000 in coverage. There is no waiting period, nor is there a medical exam. There are acceptances based on answers to your health questions. And their affordable rates increase over time. And it's a simplified issue application. Who is eligible includes AARP members, ages 50 to 74, and spouses 45 to 74. An application online may not be available in all states. And simply put, here are the prices available for the different amounts of coverage. So far, so good. This is term life insurance. Everything looks good. There's nothing out of the ordinary until you get down here to the fine print. I'm going to direct your attention here. So let's just read this together. Premiums above are the rates New York Life currently charges to people who have not used any forms of tobacco or nicotine in the last 12 months. Tobacco and nicotine users will pay a higher rate. So this is not smoker rates. So if you smoke, you pay higher. Your initial premium is based on your age at issue. Premiums increase as you enter in each new 5-year band and will be based on the current rates at that time. So not today, but tomorrow. So they could be higher than what they are today. Could be lower too. Premiums are not guaranteed. However, your rates may change only if they are changed for all others in the same class ranges. Age bands end at age 75 to 79. Coverage ends at age 80. So, take it back off the screen here and mention a few things just to make sure that we're on the same page. The main thing I want to direct your attention to is that this particular product, again, you're essentially purchasing what's called temporary life insurance. Term is short for terminating. When you buy an AARP New York Life plan, it's going to provide you first day full protection. It's going to provide you level coverage. But 2 things happen that you need to be aware of just in the process of determining if this is right for you. The first is your prices are going to go up in 5-year bands. I'll demonstrate it here on the screen in just a moment. Also, it will cancel at 80. You'll reach 80 years old. And if you still have the term insurance plan, then you lose it outright. The problem with that is if you intend on keeping it permanently and you have a term insurance plan, there's obviously a problem. You can't. Now, you do have the option with these plans to do what's called a conversion up to age 80, which means you can take your term insurance and turn it into a whole life insurance or permanent plan that doesn't cancel with age or health if you can recall to do so. But it is something that is an option built in with these plans. Now, I'm going to direct you back to the screen here so you can see the rates here on the screen. I'm going to try to zoom in just slightly so you can see a little bit better. This is $25,000 in term life insurance rates. Again, this is the starting price. This isn't necessarily the price it'll go to at the next band. It could be higher or lower. But you can see it incrementally goes up tremendously. Starts at potentially 26, and there's a big price difference. And you can play with the prices. If you want $100,000 in coverage, you can see the different rates. So I'm just going to compare $50,000 in term life insurance to what you could get also outside of the equation of what you can compare it to as far as other rates go. So if I run a $50,000 term insurance plan, and let's say for the sake of comparison, you are 60. So you're going to keep this for 24 years, or 20 years, right, till it cancels at 80. It starts at $94. At 60 years old, male, make sure that was a male rate. Yep, male rates. Non-tobacco, 20-year term, $50,000. I think we got everything right. Make sure it's good. If you can qualify for Preferred Plus, you'd be looking at $41.76, and that compares to $45. So it's about the same. It's actually pretty close. Actually, I take that back. It is $94 a month for a 60-year-old. Any age between these ages, it's $94 a month. Compared to Sagicor or a Surety, you're looking at about $41 to $43. That's if a preferred basis. Let's say your health's not the greatest. Okay, and this is what we call preferred or standard rates. Maybe $50, $52 a month with these known companies. Of course, there's other companies that are well known here that you could go with as well, like Transamerica, $68.54. That's still cheaper. And the standard rate's $70. Now, here's the big difference here, guys, and this is important to understand because it's not just about the initial price, it's about the price overall. This is level in any of these plans for that entire 20-year period. So let's say you go with that Sagicor plan that's about $70 a month, and you're only saving a little bit of money. Well, that stays the same throughout that entire 20-year period, whereas with the AARP plan, you have those, again, those 5-year incremental increases in the price. A lot of the clients that I've met throughout the years have complained the price increases are pretty dramatic when they hit 65, 70, and 75. And they have to sustain those price increases if they plan on keeping it. Whereas with these plans, you can keep it at that level premium for the full time. The only advantage that I see that AARP has in some sense relative to these other plans, it's going to depend on the company, is that there's a full conversion privilege at any age, whereas some of these plans quit their conversion options at age 70 or 75. That may depend, though, on the product. But the point is that is one advantage that AARP New York Life has. So why would one get term insurance? To me, the biggest reason to buy term insurance is to cover some sort of mortgage, debt, obligation that's above and beyond burial expenses. I don't think term insurance is the best bet for burial because we don't know when we're going to die. It's a definite plus or definite plus. I don't know if it's a good thing, but it's going to happen to everybody. So it's kind of logical to get a plan that will survive at any point, not versus one that may potentially go away before you do, like a term insurance plan. So, but some people just prefer term. They listen to financial advisors or gurus or people like money guys like Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, talk about the virtues of term. And I believe some insurance is better than none. So if you got to get term, I would not get New York Life AARP potentially. I'd look around to see what your other options are. It may qualify. Great company New York Life is, but the prices tend to be a little high. So what I'm going to do next here is take you now to the AARP permanent product and kind of demonstrate the difference here after I get my screen situated. So AARP's term life or permanent life product is a little bit different. It's designed to give you permanent protection as opposed to temporary protection. So what that simply means is that it doesn't cancel at 80. You can get up to $50,000 in coverage with AARP's permanent plan. The rates never go up. That's great. No medical exam or waiting period, assuming you can qualify for it. You got to be between 50 and 80 or 45 and 80 for your spouse. And here's the different prices. Now, this is actually a pretty good product at a good price. They got different ages for different prices. If we look at a 65-year-old female, you're looking at $45 a month. And if we compare that to a 65-year-old female on the brokerage options that I have available, you're looking at a pretty close price. Mutual of Omaha, everybody knows who they are, $41.01. And if you compare that to this, it's $45. So it's about the same thing. And what you'll find is I think both of these products are great. Most of what we sell as life insurance agents to people who want coverage on a permanent basis are for burial reasons, and they are these whole life guaranteed permanent type products. We use what's called whole life insurance. AARP uses a kind of a permanent product. It's not whole life. I think it's universal life, but it's designed to operate in the same way. And so I think this is the right solution. The biggest difference, I think, between getting something like this versus with New York Life versus Mutual Omaha's, there's a slight price difference. But as you increase the amount of coverage, let's say you want $20,000 or $25,000 in coverage, there's going to be circumstances where one product is better than another. So I'll take you back off of my screen here. I want to show you, go ahead and show you the differences. So if we looked at $25,000 for a female at age 65, their product with New York Life is going to be $111. Again, compare that to $25,000 with the products that we have to offer. We're looking at a comparison of approximately $97.72. So again, the difference there is about $13, $14. Quick math, about $150, $180 a year. Now, there is one last thing we can look at, which is called guaranteed universal life insurance, which tends to be a more competitively priced product for the healthiest of applicants. It essentially does practically the same thing a whole life policy does. You got to keep the same premium level throughout the entirety of your life for the plan to stay in force at the same price. But what you get in advantage is a much better price. So if you qualified for the standard rates, you'd be looking at $62.17 for $25,000 and permanent protection with a level premium with a no lapse universal life plan versus, again, $111, $113. So a substantial difference in price. Keep in mind, and to be completely transparent, the Sagicor life plans of the world have to be a lower, more competitive, or so they should be better health. If you've got health problems, you're going to have issues, it's unlikely that you're going to qualify for these plans. So I don't want to dissuade or be non-transparent or lead people down the wrong path. This is something that's an option for the healthiest of applicants that can qualify for it, but definitely not for everybody. So that's the permanent life product with New York Life. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is the guaranteed acceptance life insurance plan. This is essentially offered through New York Life and AARP when we have an applicant that doesn't qualify for their otherwise for the guaranteed product. The biggest difference between that and the other permanent product is there's a 2-year waiting period. You can see it right here on the screen. Limited benefits for the first 2 years. I can scroll down and you can see them describe it. There it is. During the death from natural causes during the first 2 years of the coverage pays just a portion. You'll receive money paid in plus 125% of the premiums paid. So it's just a small portion of it. And then you'll have full death benefit for accidental death. You have to get through 2 years before that's full protection. So this is where you can't qualify for the regular product. And again, we look at a 65-year-old female, $10,000 coverage at $71 a month. And we look back here and compare it to $10,000 on a guaranteed issue basis. So this would be a situation where there's no other options to qualify. You'd be looking at probably the same price. Yeah, American General, good company, $61.57, essentially the same price as New York Life. Actually, no, it's $10 better. Okay. So yeah, you actually do get a better deal with that. Now, here's something I want to add here. If you're looking at a policy and New York Life AARP offers you these 2-year waiting period products where there's no natural causes, it doesn't necessarily mean you can't qualify for first day full coverage elsewhere. The AARP New York Life term and underwritten permanent product has a 3-year look back for their health questions. There's a few other questions that are definite knockouts like HIV, AIDS, that kind of thing, Alzheimer's. But the major conditions such as cancer, heart issues, diabetes, usually is a 3-year look back to determine eligibility for coverage. There are companies where they don't have that far a look back. Mutual of Omaha is one that comes to mind, and others, Liberty Bankers Life. There are others as well where they only look back on some conditions for 2 years. Sometimes there's companies that just look back 1 year. The reason this is important is these are really good companies. They do a good job of paying claims just as well as New York Life does, but they've got better terms as far as qualification terms for applicants that otherwise would be put in a 2-year wait with New York Life and would be put in a first day full coverage with a product that we represent. So the moral of the story here is not to always just accept what New York Life gives you, because you may be able to do better at a better price and first day full coverage elsewhere if you can qualify. And at the end of the day, if the only thing you can get is a guaranteed acceptance plan through New York Life, you're going to have a better price throughout most of the age bands if you deal with a broker like us. So, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the reason I put this video together is I wanted to walk you through a current update of the application process with each of the products that New York Life AARP offers. This video is not intended to how do you say, defame the companies? Both of them. They're both great companies. They do great service for seniors. New York Life is an excellent life insurance company. However, the perspective of someone like me as a broker is we want to offer multiple options to our clients. Why? Because our clients generally are 60 and older and on a fixed income. And they need to make sure every dollar invested in a life insurance plan, from the standpoint of what they put aside each month in their life insurance plan, is put the best use, maximizing their coverage. And there are going to be circumstances where New York Life AARP does not do the job. And there may be circumstances based on your health you can get a better amount of coverage or get first day full coverage when you couldn't with New York Life AARP. So what's the next step? If you like what you see here on this video and you want to see some options from a broker that represents different companies, that does the shopping for you so that you can arrive potentially at a better price with better value of life insurance or burial insurance coverage, you can do two things. You can contact me at 888-626-0439. You'll reach either myself or one of my friendly associates to help you pull a quote for what you may qualify for. Or you can visit my website at buylifeinsuranceforburial.com and submit a quote either on the left-hand or bottom of the screen. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Also, subscribe and share this with your friends who may be in this age bracket looking for life insurance and may be looking at AARP and New York Life and want some perspective. And thank you otherwise for watching. My name is David Duford at buylifeinsuranceforburial.com. Thank you guys again for watching, and I hope you got some value out of this. Take care.